are members of the Augustana Vikings. In the center of our podium is head coach Tom Billeter. To the far end is Casey Schilling. Casey is a senior forward from Ellsworth, Minnesota. And next to me is Alex Richter. Alex is a senior guard from Lakeville, Minnesota. Coach, first off, your initial impressions on a game that you can literally just say, wow. Your team could have packed it in several times over the first 34 minutes, but the last 6 minutes of the ball game, they took control.
Well, I know it's a good question, but they ain't gonna pack it in. You know they aren't gonna do that. But heck, I might start crying here. It's the first time I won a game in the locker room. I told these guys I've never been prouder of a group. We have a really good player, Dan Jansen. We missed him. He's really good, and he wasn't gonna play tonight. And we didn't even get that news till we went up and tried to warm him up, and he just couldn't go. And that can affect your team in a lot of different ways. And I feel bad for Dan Jansen because not only is he a great player, he's a great kid, and he's a great friend of all of us. But you got to get together and you got to overcome. And tonight we found our small team. We got out and I'd like to compliment the entire team, the bench, and Zach Houston coming in, being told at the 10-minute mark he'd be starting. Thought he stepped in. I would also very much, and I'll be done, compliment Tarleton State on a great season. They're well coached. They played their hearts out. They're scrappy. They're very good offensive rebounders. They play very, very hard. That's an excellent. That's a heck of a 7th seed, I can tell you that. They're very deserving of being here, and I can't say enough good things about their staff, their players, we feel very fortunate to have won the game.
Casey, we'll start with you. A double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. The outside shot seemed to be difficult tonight, but 11 of 14 from the line. Tell us a little bit about the game from your perspective.
Hats off to Tarleton. They're a heck of a team. They really make it hard down low for you to get good looks. I don't know how to say, they were just everywhere. Every time I tried to do a double drop or do a hook, they always had 2 guys, and so they were just running. So it was one of those things where I really tried to press and tried to get some shots for me at the beginning of the game, and then I just kind of let the game come to me. I think that was the big thing. It was just one of those things you just gotta, the nerves of playing in the Elite Eight for the first time. It's one of those things where it's a big time deal, and so you just can't get rattled and you can't ever get nervous about it. And I just thought right away we came out and we played a little tentative, and that's not our style of basketball. And so I think that was the big thing. Once we got in the flow of the game, we let it come to us. I think that's when we really went on our run.
Alex, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 11 of 15 from the line. 5 of 6 from three-point range. It seems like at times you were matching anything that Tarleton did.
Yeah, I felt good when I let that first one go, and I kind of let it come to me after that. I'm not going to just go forcing it, but teammates did a great job of finding me when I was open, and we took good shots, whether that was me or whether that was the bigs or whether that was our guards. Everybody took good shots, and those are shots that you can go crash and get an offensive rebound, or shots that people know that are going to go in or eventually. So we stayed calm with our game plan and really stuck to the game plan down the stretch, and it worked out for us.
Now we're ready to take questions from the media. I ask, as we call on you, you please identify yourself and the outlet you're with. Right here.
Elliot Nathan, ASFY Sports. Coach, down 8 at the break, outscored them by 15 in the second half. What was the message in the locker room, and did you make any adjustments coming out from the locker room?
No, really and truly, I'd say we more reinforced what we were doing. Wouldn't you agree with that? We liked our plan. We thought we were pretty fortunate to be down 8 because we felt we left some points on the floor that are uncharacteristic of us, and some free throws. We're a very good free throw shooting team. We were 5 for 11 from the line. What? They have something to do with that, though. Some of those shots we left on the floor, they are everywhere, and they are really quick jumpers. They're athletic. They're physical. They had a lot to do with that, and we weren't going to be able to make a lot of changes. Hey, we played a lot of games this year, and we believe in what we're doing. We reinforced what we were doing, and we made it really clear to at least these 2 guys right here, they got 20 minutes left in their career if we don't make up 8 points somehow. And that was brought up, and they sure responded extremely well.
This is for both you guys. Down 10 in the second half, things just weren't going your way. It felt like watching the game, you just willed yourself to win this game. There was a determination that was the difference. Would you agree with that, Casey?
Yes, sir. We're a hard-nosed team, and I think we get kind of the reputation of being from South Dakota, and so nobody really thinks of that as a basketball state. And, we just come out and we just play our butts off, and that's our big thing. We're not going to let anybody overpower us. We're not the biggest team, but at the end of the day, we're going to be tougher than anybody. I mean, we're going to come after you, and if we're going to respond with your pressure, with more pressure.
I would agree with that, definitely. I feel like me personally and the whole team, we were way too determined we've had way too good of a year, and we put way too much into this to let a 10-point deficit with 15 minutes or whatever we had left to pack it up and go home. And we care way too much about this team, and I care way too much about all those guys to not get a win there.
Casey, David Boyce with the NCAA.com. How did it affect seniors and the rest of the team when you knew that Daniel wasn't going to be able to play a guy you've been to war with so many times?
I'm interested in his answer.
Sir, Dan and I are best friends. We've been through it all. We came in as freshmen together, and when you see a guy like that puts, Dan's the hardest worker on our team. He puts a lot of time in, and he's always working out, always getting shots up, and he's really worked at it. And that's kind of the toughest part for me, where I've seen how much effort and how much determination he's put into this game. And when you see a guy like that who can't do anything about it, I mean, injuries suck. That's just the way it is. I mean, you can't control that. And when you see it, I could just see it on his face that it was tearing him up. And it hurts us. When you did it at practice, I think we went to free throws and we missed 20 free throws in a row. I mean, it was one of those things where we all care, and this is the tightest team I've ever seen. We're so close. We're brothers. We break down with that every day, and it's just one of those things when you see one of your brothers down, you want to pick him up, but you know that he can't play, and he's trying to give it his all. But at the end of the day, Dan's given us so much. Now this is our turn to give him something back.
Back on the stage.
David Brown, Midcoast Sports. Alex, it seemed like there were several times in the second half you got to within 2, got within 3, they would hit a clutch shot. It seemed that happened at least 3 or 4 times by my count. At what point you got a free throw to go up 71-70? At what point were you guys able to just finally break through? What happened in that sequence?
I think we just stayed with the game plan. We had a great game plan put together from our coaches, and at times it looked like they were never going to miss a 3 again, but we just stuck with our game plan and stayed packing it in and tried to take away the dribble from them, because that's their main offense. That's what they get a lot of their points from. When they shoot inside the lane, they shoot like 60-some%. So we wanted to take that away and just stick with the game plan, and it ultimately worked. I mean, it was tough back and forth. They'd hit big shots, but we'd come back and we'd get a good shot or get a good bucket or get a stop on the other end. So we just kind of stuck with the game plan and kept our heads down and went to work.
Mark Ovenden from KDLT again. Alex, you scored 13 straight points, according to my unofficial score sheet here. How much fun was that? Because they all came in that span of time when you guys took a 1-point lead and put it away.
Yeah, it was very, very fun. I mean, I wish I could remember more of it, but I just got in the zone a little bit and took it to the basket. We did a good job of pushing it, and it was very fun, very fun.
Coach, it looked like partway through the second half, I mean, you were pretty heavy on the gaps and impacting on defense, but it looked like you went to a 2-3 zone there. Is that correct?
Yeah, we played so many different defenses tonight. It would take an hour to explain all of them. We junked it up a little bit. We did a bunch of stuff tonight. We played a 3-2. We played a 2-3. We played our man a couple different ways. We were very conscientious of their ability to not only get to the rim with their dribble motion, they could just throw it up to the rim, and good things happen. I will tip my hat to them. They made a lot of threes tonight, and we said it was going to take their best 3-point shooting effort ever to beat us tonight. That was our game plan with this particular team, and they darn near did it. I mean, they really played. They really made baskets, and they never quit.
Coach, what is Jansen's status for?
I promise you, I don't know. We were hoping he would maybe be able to play tonight. We don't think it's a fracture. We think it's badly sprained. It's a strange injury, but I don't want to tell you that he's playing and he's not. I don't want to tell you he's not and he does, because you'll think I was lying about it. I really don't know. I was a little surprised tonight. We were all hoping that he would be able to at least give it a go and see what would happen. So, I really can't answer that question.
It's a possibility.
If he can, he will. It's that simple. And trust me, he wants to. He's a tough kid. He's really tough. It's just when. We need the good Lord to come in and heal him. We need some help.
You guys spent a lot of emotion tonight with Dan not being there and coming from behind from 10 points. And it was a really emotional game just to watch. I can't imagine what it was like to play. All three of you maybe answer, you got to come back out and play again tomorrow in the semifinals. Is that gonna be a problem?
I let them answer, because
It's not gonna be a problem for this
Let them
team. We came way too far. We're gonna enjoy this till the press conference, maybe enjoy with our families for 5-10 minutes, then we're gonna get ready to watch this game and get ready to play another
It's a
opponent.
fair question. It's a good
Came
question.
way too far to be too high from a win on this night to not be able to play tomorrow and come out flat.
No, sir. We're not laying an egg tomorrow. It's not going to happen. It's just one of those things where we know what's at stake, and I can promise you that we're going to give it our all. And if we give 110%, like I know we will, and the ball doesn't fall our way, it's one of those things you got to just thank the good Lord for what He's done for us in the first place. But I just think that if we come out and we play the game that we want to play, I don't understand how we wouldn't be right in there with a chance to win the game.
I would add, though, I addressed it after the game. I said it to the whole team. I said, you can't just sit here and be so happy that we got past this one that we don't come out and play tomorrow. So I brought it up in the locker room. First thing after I told them how much I love them and how proud I was. Next, I guess the third thing I brought up. Same, I'm right with you.
Last question, green shirt.
Coach, I thought Jordan Spencer gave you some very important minutes in the middle of the second half, about 7-minute mark. He scored 7 points in a row, hits a big three, and they played off and he took it to the rim. If you could just address how important he is.
I agree. And, think about this. He only played 9 minutes in the first half, and we didn't have Dan. So we don't have our all-conference point guard, and we don't have our, potential player of the year candidate. It was a tough last 10 minutes of the first half. That's why I felt pretty good about being down 8. I really was. And then he came in. Now, Ian, you asked a good question about our zone. Part of that was to protect him and his fouls, and part of that was to protect Zach and his fouls. We had a couple key kids in foul trouble, and we tried to protect them a little bit by playing a little bit more zone maybe than we normally do. But I thought down the stretch, the other thing Jordan did, I think you could tell too, when he isn't out there, he is out there. Even when he's not maybe making the basket or whatever, he's directing everything. He's constantly in contact, and we're constantly in communication. He and I have a very good relationship that way. We're on the same page. He has permission to audible. These guys all do. They can audible if they need to, if they've got a good feel. That's how this group has been. I don't do that very often, but with this group, we do that until the last 2 minutes, and then that's off. But other than that, we give them some freedom. And it was really, that's a great observation. And there's so many people that I did a great job, 5 guys in double figures, but I thought Jordan did a great job down the stretch.
Well, gentlemen, congratulations on an exciting win. Best of luck
Thank
tomorrow
you.
night.
Thanks to all you guys.